Okay, recording in progress. This is Angie looking very dishevelled on a Sunday with my old friend Artie, Arthur Charbel Catal.
El Hawaii, El
How
Hawaii.
are you? How are
You gotta add the El Hawaii, that's my tribal ancestral name.
Salam alaikum. This is my friend. I first came across Arthur when he used to do regular shows with Danielle Verite or Danielle George years ago. This was like 2015, maybe even 14.
14.
Yeah. So we'll have a little chat about her. But like so many that campaigned, there's the kitten, like so many that campaigned, Artie they snagged him for a couple of years. They got you, didn't they? They sectioned you and they drugged you and they, you went through hell. And I want to appreciate you for how you endured and the fact that you're still here. And I said, let's have an off the record chat. And you said, no, record.
The fact that you're still here, Angie,
Yeah.
the fact that you're still at the age, the ripe old age that you're at, and you're still here, that's big.
Oh, that's very kind. I'm going to turn the volume up full because my microphone is not very good at the moment. I've got a microphone, but it's a kind of a karaoke microphone. I don't even know how to work it. I don't even know how to work a karaoke microphone, but somebody will help me. So we'll just manage with this for now. So the reason, well, do you want to give people an update of how you are or what's going on?
Well, update. I just turned 42 the other day on the 24th of March. So a couple of weeks back, turned 42. Feeling good. Could lose a few kilos.
Yeah, me too.
I'm currently still under a CTO, a community treatment order, and that's imposed. But it's imposed by the New South Wales Mental Health and New South Wales Police.
I'm under recording, sweetheart. He told me to go ahead and record. You can come in. No, you can speak. Oh, you're welcome to speak. Say hi to your friend. I didn't know you guys knew each other.
Hello, brother.
Charmaine, how are you?
I'm good.
How are you, sweetheart?
All the warriors are resurfacing despite all the censorship.
You're still in your robe, Charmaine.
I'm in my jammies today. I'm doing nothing today, brother.
It's a day off.
Yeah, Angie, as I was saying, I'm still under a CTO, community treatment order, and that's under the strict instructions from the Australian Federal Police. I don't know where they I don't know whether or not MI6 Chief Richard Moore got in contact with them, or some of his department had got in contact with the AFP and told them to monitor me, keep me under strict monitoring, because I was focusing a lot of my social media work at attacking MI6 Chief Richard Moore.
Okay, I haven't heard of him.
You don't know who he is?
No, see,
he's on Twitter. He's got his own Twitter profile.
Yeah,
the MI6 Chief Richard Moore has got his own Twitter profile.
All right, I'll check it out. Let me just write this down. My Twitter got nuked, and so I've just set up a new one, and it's I'm starting from scratch all over again. So
all your social media platforms seem to have been nuked.
Yeah, my main YouTube channel got taken down by Mel V and Biggie Boho, and I need to deal with that with YouTube because I have an email proving that when I resigned from their platform, having spent a couple of grand for the privilege of speaking on their platform, they sent me an email saying you can take all your own interviews. But then they did a copyright strike when I uploaded all the interviews I'd done. They did 7 copyright strikes and nuked my channel. But so I lost my Facebook channel with 5,000 friends, 2,000 followers, and like the most amazing, like 11, 12 years of disclosures on it.
And with me, I lost my original profile. I was shattered. I was gutted that I lost my original Facebook profile.
Yeah.
It was like my personal private diary, but only public.
Yeah, I had my mother's funeral on there. I had my niece's wedding on there, and I had decades of photographs. It was heartbreaking.
Angie, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope.
I haven't.
Because they may have taken it away from you, but it still exists.
Yeah,
if you punch in your old email address and your password, it says that this account has been deactivated. So it still exists. They can't wipe it out. They can't delete it completely from history. So you never know. Maybe one in the future, there may be means for us to be able to access our old Facebook channel, channels and YouTube channels.
And the nail in the hedges are pissing them off.
I know. And I also used it. I did creative writing on there. I used an app on Facebook called Notes, and I did loads of creative writing. Now, fortunately, I printed it all out. It was loads, like short stories and poetry, masses of it. All of that nuked. It's wrong. It's wrong. It is wrong. There's no doubt about it. But let's not whinge. I want to ask as well, do they still force you to take medication? Do you mind me asking you that?
They still force me. I'm still under CTO, which stipulates I have to take medication and injections every 2 weeks. I don't take the orals. I don't take the orals.
Well, don't get yourself.
There's no way. There's no way getting out of taking the injection.
Yeah. But I have heard of people that have like, I don't want to go all new age, but it says in the Bible, you can, as a believer, you can drink poison and it won't harm you. You can be bitten by a venomous snake and you won't die if you have faith. And I have heard of people that have been poisoned where they should have dropped dead and they just prayed their way out of it. The body, Charmaine was saying this to me, her body is healed of things and regenerated that is off the charts. It's like, how did your body heal from that? How did, so there are ways.
I put on a lot of weight. That 15 months that I spent, where I spent in the window liquors.
Yeah.
The 15 months where I spent in the window liquors. I didn't move much, and I put on a hell of a lot of weight, and I was just eating and sleeping.
No. It's not just that. Some meds are designed for that. I had a friend that I grew up with and was subject to military experiments, the same as me as a child. And at 18, he got a brain tumor, and he lived in Scotland. So I only saw him about every, 6 months or something. And when I went up, because they said he was dying, he'd blown up like a balloon. It was the drugs. It's not that you just didn't do enough exercise or didn't go to the gym enough. It's the drugs. It's the pharmaceuticals. I got to be careful.
Slows down the metabolism.
Yeah.
Slows down the metabolism.
Whatever it does, I've seen people, including myself, just blow up like a balloon, so I'm not the person I was when I first started fighting and campaigning online, 7, 8 years ago. So they are medicating you, but you're doing okay, are you? Are you living it with your family, or is your family still living with you in your lovely home? Oh, you're frozen. Oh, it's gone out of internet. You've gone out of internet coverage, Artie. You're wandering around, aren't you? I'll wait and see if you come back in. Okay, we might. Oh, he's gone. Right, I pause. Now I think we'll just call this part 1. Hello to Artie. Oh, he might be back in. Yeah, you froze. Did you move?
Yeah, Angie, I'm living out in Western Sydney in Penrith.
Okay.
But I still own the family home. My sister's living at the moment with her family.
Okay.
She's building her own house.
Okay.
She's building her own house down the road, which when she moves out, I'll be moving back home. but it's a big home. It's a 7-bedroom home.
I know, I've seen it. It's beautiful. You did really well. And just for those that don't know, because I lost my main YouTube channel, I think I still have the archives of my interviews with Arthur. And they may be on my associate channel, Archives of Truth. And if they're not, I'll see if we can upload them. I'm on 2 strikes at the moment on this backup channel, but 1 strike expires tomorrow. So I'll upload this tomorrow. So, because you know, when you've got 2 strikes, you're on the edge and they can just take your channel. But anyway, never mind. For those that don't know Arthur, he is a Mennonite Lebanese guy, right? Maronite. So it's like a version of Catholicism that's.
It's a version of Catholicism that Saint Maroon founded. Yeah. Saint Maroon, I think in the 1400s, he was Syriac, and he moved to the mountains, northern mountains of Lebanon. But it's founded by Saint Maroon, the order.
Yeah.
Maronite Catholic. We gave them the name Maronites.
Yeah, and Artie and I don't agree on everything because I've come away from the Catholic Church, not because the good people that go to mass and, you know, love Easter and love the, you know, traditions and the smell of incense and the family gatherings for christenings and all that. That's a different thing. But my research of decades shows that at the top, the Vatican is not a follower of Jesus.
Wholeheartedly agreed with it. I'm also
Yeah.
vehemently against it as well. Yeah. I've spoken out and I've ostracized the hell out of myself. I stand well alone. You know me, Angie, with all my political statements, with all my religious political statements, social statements, I stand well alone. I'm quite controversial.
Charmaine works alone, and for the most part, and I work alone because when you speak out radically, you don't know who's being sent in on you. You don't know who's infiltrating. You don't know who's going to discredit you, and just me and Jesus, you know, just like that's the best I can do.
Angie, do you remember back in the day how much of a shambles it was? You did not know who was who. There were that many people on the scene playing each other. Everybody playing their part. You didn't know who the fuck
who was good and who was bad.
And the thing about me and you, we've the test of time. We've succeeded. Yeah, and we're still here.
I know.
You talk about your Chris Costas and your Sonia Van Gelders.
I know.
What happened to them? Where'd they go? I wonder where they went. I called them out and they disappeared.
Yeah. So I'm going to do this. I do. Right, so let me get back to base. The thing I'm saying to my new subscribers on my backup channel, which I'm now building up, is that Arthur was a bit of a lad in Australia and a bit of a villain, and he got approached by the intelligence services and asked to work for them. And do you want to take over? When he realized what the price was involving children, Artie said, get away from me.
Angie, you're forgetting that they approached me.
No, you've gone quiet. Your volume's gone. Yeah.
Wow, turn it up.
No, you had your hand on the microphone.
All right. You're forgetting that they approached me through the organised crime and illegal drugs, compartmentalised compartment of the pyramid of manipulation. So everything from business, banking, politics, media, education, military, intelligence, organised crime and illegal drugs all lead to the very same people at the very top through a compartmentalised pyramid structure. And the more you regard the levels of hierarchy, you reach the top, and that's where all the control is from. And you see it. You see, everyone has the Illuminati pyramid with all seeing eye at the top. It's like the Russian babushka dolls, where one doll fits into the next, until they're encompassed by the whole. But they approached me through the organised crime and illegal drugs compartment. And you can go on there, Angie. You can keep on going.
No, Andy Devine had the same thing, where he was dealing weed and he was told, you know, we'll let you off if you work for us. And he said, no, I'd rather do time. And he did do time. I think he did 2 years for dealing weed. You know, and even in Ireland at the moment, there's a lot of cannabis busts, but there's no cocaine or heroin busts. What is that about? And anytime I've found police involvement with drug dealing, it hasn't been for cannabis, it's been for heroin and cocaine. So I don't know why there's a flurry of cannabis busts and there's no flurry of heroin busts or cocaine busts. You know, what is it with the upper classes? They like their cocaine, including our politicians. Anyway, I don't want to get too radical. Well, I can't help it. It's in the DNA. But I just want to bring you. So I'm going to say. So
Angie, I just want to add. Angie, I just want to add. I was told I'd be the extremely big of New South Wales and Australian underworld scenes. I'd be the extremely big. And remember what I refused, why I refused, because I said, what about what they do to children? And the 3 men present burst out in hysterics. And they said, what are you worried about that for? Do you know how that's what they do? Do you know how much money you're going to be making? You can't stop that. I said, what about what they do to children? And I said that twice. And the third time I upped and left. And there was a man behind me with the gun in his hand with a Desert Eagle. I didn't know I was going to get out of there alive.
Yeah, I know. You've risked your life a lot. And so have a lot of people. But I always wanted to know, because, do you know, I don't know if it's just because she's off my radar, but I'm going to say names here, right? But I won't publish this till tomorrow when my strike expires. But do you know who used to troll Danielle Verite, aka Danielle George? Way before the Hampstead case got exposed, Ricky Dearman used to troll Danielle. Do you know why? Why was that? And Danielle Verite, to me, she's disappeared. She hooked up with Sarah Rachel Adams, and she started doing psychic readings and consultations for 250 quid, and then she just kind of disappeared. Now, she was a real voice. She used to do a series of questions asking Prince Charles things and asking, you know, British MPs, asking questions. Very, very powerful, right? But she's disappeared. Did you know that Ricky Dearman trolled her in 2014 before anything came out? And do you know why?
The pornography, the X-rated pornography she was involved with. But Angie, I'll tell you something else. Ricky Dearman was trolling me well before Hoaxted. He was trolling me well before Hoaxted. He was that's how he got onto me. That's how they all got onto me, through Daniel Levite with George.
Oh wow!
I had all the trolls were trolling me well before Hampstead.
Wow, working for Hoaxted, you mean, or before Hoaxted existed? Because Hoaxted was
before Hoaxted existed.
Yeah, because Hoaxted was a professional company set up by Karen Irving's husband for reputation rescue. And what that means is it's a company hired to troll your opposition to suicide if need be, to repair your reputation, which is what Ricky Dearman hired them for, allegedly. But you were trolled before that because you used to communicate with Danielle George.
Yeah, they all got onto me from Danielle, and they all giving it to me because I exposed what was his name? Mick Joffe. Remember Mick Joffe?
Oh yeah, Mick Joffe.
I've done a whole piece on Mick Joffe.
Yeah.
But they're all defending his integrity from England. They're all defending his integrity from England and Canada, the United States.
Yeah. No, I don't like to say global, but it's worldwide, definitely. I've been doing, I don't know if you even follow my work, but I've done a few shows with an Australian. The Aussies are good at speaking out, right? But they didn't do very well in the pandemic. They just rolled over. But I've been doing some work with an Aussie called Luke McKee, but he had to flee Australia to stay alive. And the same with Brendan O'Connell. Luke McKee is exposing the OTO. It's a satanic, worldwide group and he's got evidence up the kazoo, but he had to leave Australia to stay alive. And the same with Brendan O'Connell. He's exposing the Belt and Road, China, Russia, Iran, Israel collusion, and he had to flee Australia to stay alive. So really, in a way, although they sectioned you for 18 months and they still, force medicating you, in a way, we're lucky to still be alive.
Definitely. They feed me a lot. They feed me gathering more momentum because of the hard line I was taking.
Yeah.
And the intelligence that I had, the knowledge and intelligence that I had on them was very dangerous to a certain section of the Australian population. Like, you got to understand who I was waking up, Angie. I was waking up Aboriginals. I was waking up the blue collar, the working class.
Yeah.
Who I was, and the youth as well. The youth I had, there are like 300-400 youth on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook page.
I'm 65 in June, and I'm tired, and I'm unwell, and I'm getting death threats again. I'll read them to you without screen sharing, right? I'm getting death threats and like real life trolling where it affects you in your community. Like a few days ago, somebody threatened to burn my house down outside my house. Real life gang stalking. And
well, that's what reacquainted me with you. That's why I reacquainted myself with you, because I sent a post of yours on Facebook saying that you're still getting trolled. It made me angry, made my blood boil. I was very angry. Yeah. I get very angry when people would post on you.
I know.
You're a lady, you're an old lady. What they want from you, come pick on me. That's what I told you, direct me where to go and I'll battle them.
Yeah.
I'll put them all in my back pocket.
Yeah. Please sit in. All right. No, you can anyway. Come in. Charmaine has been wonderful. She's transitioning to start her family unit again, but I'm so grateful for the little time that she and I have had together, and we keep joining more dots. It's like this doesn't end, and the trolling is just. I kind of got used to it, but it's cost me so much in terms of. It's affected my health. It's affected my family unit. It's like now one troll in particular is like, she's so bitter that she lost her son 20-something years ago. She's trying to get my grandchildren in trouble. It's horrific. It's horrific. It's unacceptable.
Fucking relentless. They don't stop. How many years have you copped it?
Well,
Coach that used to do a piece on you every day.
They were obsessed. That was Karen Irving. She's supposedly retired, right? But she's still got operatives. She's still, and the one that's coming at me viciously again. She says, "Oh, I told Hoaxstead to back off." I put it on my Facebook page, all her messages, because the person she sent them to sent them on to me. But it's like sometimes it's just very damaged people. She thinks I've got something to do with her son being taken at 20-something years ago. I wasn't even online. I came back to Ireland in 1996, but I was in America from 85 to 90. But she thinks I beat her up on the streets of London in 1984. Because I helped a mother fight forced adoption and discovered that the mother and father were loyalists, and she was all involved with the IRA and the loyalists. She was like, whatever. She thinks I'm keeping her son from her. It's just like what, the lies people tell online. It's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming. It's just, but I keep trying to just retire and say I can't take it anymore. But there's something makes me, when I just hear from somebody like you, or somebody else steps up and says, I'll take care of it. That's what we need. We need men. It's not up to little old grannies like me trying to fight on the front line for years. We need the men to be men. you know, we need the men on the front line. You know.
Yeah, definitely. I tried mustering a lot of males to support the cause,
Yeah.
but you got to understand, men are very shallow as well. You don't find too many men who have depth about them.
Well, I think that there's been estrogen in the water. I think men have been being feminized by GMOs.
They have been feminized.
Yeah, they've been pussyed. They've been pussyed for decades. Like, it's almost like the mad scientists want to create everybody androgynous, and they want to take the testosterone away from men and leave the women on the front line open to any amount of brutality and targeting. It's very weird.
But you rarely ever find a man who wants to carry the torch. It's normally a female.
But do you know what is happening in the UK? The UK gangster community have discovered YouTube, and they're now starting to spill the beans in a way. They're now stepping up to the plate. There's a whole load of gangsters from Newcastle and Scotland and different places, Manchester. Or the gangsters have discovered YouTube, and they're teaching themselves to do StreamYard and Zoom and all these things, and they're starting to expose the bent coppers, the murder frame-ups, the Freemasons, the paedophile rings within this whole gangster firms, they call them in England, and they're all little boy abusers like the Cray twins. They're all pimps and procurers, and it's so the men are stepping up in the UK, and I don't know. So I try not to do too much exposing in Ireland because it's dangerous. I'm a woman on my own. I'm 65 in June, you know, but I have done a lot of exposing in my own backyard, and particularly in January. Now I've frozen. Look, it's back again. I did a big re-exposure in January because I thought I was dying, and then I had somebody outside my house threaten to burn my house down 3 days ago. Somebody like outside my house, and do you know who went and put manners on him? Little 5'2", 8-stone Charmaine.
She's got big balls, Charmaine, big balls.
Oh my God, he punched the wing mirror off his own car and screamed threats and violence at me. And then she goes up to him like a little 5'2", and she... and that's all it takes is courage, isn't it? It just takes...
How'd you get your address, Angie? Is this from online?
No, it's local. This is the thing. When I expose, I thought I was dying. I really was very ill, Artie. I was very sick in January. And because I thought I was dying, and I was completely dissociated and like had a breakdown, I just thought, and then somebody sent the police to my door. My daughter sent the police to my door. So I started live streaming, and I just re-exposed all the local, I think 5 paedophiles, 3 rapists, 2 murderers, and a drug cartel connected to the police. I just blabbed it all out, right? And so the locals, you know, any of them that are involved in any of that, whether it's drug dealing or police corruption or paedophilia or rape, I've made some enemies again. Do you know what I mean? I've made some enemies again. So I had somebody staying in my house who you know, he I don't know, some people are so wounded they're inappropriate. He wasn't a pedo, but he was a bit of a sociopath. I'm a bit of a mug for saying you can come and stay, you know. So my neighbours took a dislike to him because whatever, and this was one of my neighbours' ex-partners, and we just went ballistic. But he didn't just go ballistic at my house guest who I asked to leave that night. He went ballistic at me for disclosing in January. So that's why a lot of people ask me, why do you expose, you know, paedophile rings in England or Australia or America or whatever? Because if I do it if I have done it, but if I continue to do it in my own locality, I could end up in, you know, at the bottom of a lake. I rang 999 when he threatened me, and he was saying, "I'm coming back to burn your house down." I rang 999, which is emergency police, and do you know what? 5 hours later, they just phoned me. They didn't even come out. So it's like, it's just me and Jesus and whatever good friend might be passing through, you know. But look, so tell me a little bit more. I'll keep freezing. I don't want to gossip. Like, have you heard from Danielle George? Tell me about Ricky Dearman trolling you before Hampstead. You think it was connected to the pornography industry in London?
Ricky Dearman was Darcy Lynn on Facebook.
He was.
Remember
What?
Darcy Lynn? Darcy Lynn.
Spell that for me.
D-A-R-C-Y, Darcy.
Yeah.
D-A-R-C-Y. Darcy Lynn, L-Y-N-N-E.
L-Y-N-E. That's a new name on me, because I know he used a lot of, like, there were some people with Hampstead Research did brilliant deep dives on who was who, but most of them have retired because the trolling was so brutal. There's not very many of us left standing.
No, well, Hope said was a full-time job. However, that Karen Irvine, that was a fucking full-time job that Hope said. See her pieces, the efforts that went into her pieces. It was a full-time job.
No. 2 researchers did separate investigations into Hoaxted Research, and they didn't know each other, and they were brilliant researchers, and they outed her. But the woman who gave me the big tip on it being Karen Irving, she sent me an anonymous letter saying, Karen, you know, El Coyote is Karen Irving, do your research. And she also sent me a book written by Karen Irving from a trilogy called by Katie Klein. And that woman got so badly trolled for exposing Karen Irving, she committed suicide.
Come on.
I swear. That's the price she paid for outing Karen Irving. She committed suicide.
And what's his name? Give me his name. Andy Devine's mate.
Andy Devine's mate.
He's locked up in the window.
John Patterson, yeah, he's gone. He's medicated. He's not.
John Patterson. He's
not speaking out anymore. Not speaking out anymore.
He's still locked up. Is he?
No, I don't think he's locked up. I think they've secretly let him out if he agrees to stay silent.
They gave me that ultimatum as well, but I kept on going. I kept on being vocal.
Do you know who else I got an email from yesterday? Do you remember Reverend Anthony Pike?
Yeah, I got one too. He's been kicked out of India. I didn't realise he was so old. He's like 72 years old.
He's an old man, and he's like.
I didn't realise he was an old man. I thought he was young. I thought he was maybe in his 40s or.
No. He's an old man. He's like me. I'm going to be 65. He's in his 70s. We need the next generation to rise up and do their thing. And they are. But there's another survivor that did an interview recently, and part of what she was exposing was Tom Jones. Do you know the international singer?
American singer.
Yeah, and then he, after the interview, and he cancelled his next 3 concerts. Right, the heat was on. But now she is in hospital on death's door. You know, so it's like you have to, you know, we want to be whistleblowers, but at the same time, we don't want to die. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to die. You know, we don't want to die early. Let's put it that way. You know? So tell me where you're staying. You don't have to tell me the location or anything, but why aren't you living in your own house?
I don't mind. I have to stipulate to my CTO they've got to be under 24/7 supervision.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty bad. It gets reviewed every 6 months. It gets reviewed every 6 months, but I told you they're under strict instruction from the Australian Federal Police to keep me monitored.
No, I know I'm monitored absolutely off the charts, and I don't mind. Hello, MI5, MI6, GCHQ, Special Branch, 77th Brigade. Hello, you know, like we're not doing.
I let them know, but since they died, I've let them know what I'm doing. I inform them. I tag them all. I go to Twitter. I tag all their usernames. I go to Facebook. I tag all their names. I put it on them big time.
And they don't punish you for that, because if I upload this tomorrow, I don't want to get you in trouble.
Nah, upload it. Upload. Full exposure. Big exposure.
Because one of the ways the trolls come at me, and I shouldn't really take any notice, they say anybody that works with Angie Power Disney ends up in jail or sectioned, right? But it's because I work with the brave people that are willing to go on the front line. You know,
Angie, I'll never badmouth you, because you wanna know why? That third last time when I got locked up, when I was going really hectic. Remember when I was staying up like 3-4 days on the coke, and I was battling trolls and that?
Yeah, no, we'll get nuked.
You did a full campaign. What was that? You did a full campaign for my release.
Yeah,
the doctors were telling me, who's this Angie Power Disney? Who is she? You were telling people to rally at the hospital. They were in fear. People, the large numbers of people were going to rock up to the hospital.
I know. There was something else, because, yeah, you know, Sabine is out of jail now. She served about 4 years, and now she's free back in Germany. You know that, don't you?
You know she got released.
Yeah, she was supposed to be released last January 2021. And do you know who stopped her, blocked her from getting, like, they gave the go-ahead for her to finish out her license in Germany last January. And do you know who blocked her for a year or more? Steve Martin, DC Steve Martin.
Yeah.
He wouldn't give her passport back. But she finally got free, and she's back in Germany, and she's completely free. Within a week, she did an interview and talked about the Hampstead case, but she's off. She's got two interests. One was campaigning for women and children, but the other thing is she's a mathematical genius. So while she was in prison, because she couldn't go on the internet, she did all this mathematical research and science stuff. So she's back in that thing, but I might reach out and interview her. I mean, I know some of my interviews with her were shown in court, and I think that's illegal. How dare they use my work in court in the UK and not at least let me know and say you can come to court and you've got the right to reply because we're using your interviews with Sabine as evidence. It was all so unlawful. It was all so unlawful. Anyway, there's something else I was going to.
Angie, just to give you a bit of an insight, out of the last 12 months, I've been blocked for 9 on Facebook, and I've been spending a bit of time on Instagram and Twitter, but I haven't been really active on Facebook. For, as I said, 9 months out of the 12, I've been banned. I've been on the block. I'm seriously thinking that I'm going to lose this profile soon as well.
Right.
So I backed it up. Before I lose it.
Keep going. Somebody agreed. One of my subscribers offered to assist me with the online stuff because I don't understand a lot of it, and he just said to me, this was about 18 months ago. He said, "I'm going to back up all your interviews." And 5 days later, I lost my YouTube channel. If he hadn't backed everything up 5 days before, I would have lost 12 years of work, 12 years of interviews that you could never get back, that you could never replace. It was book burning. It was horrific, you know. So this time, YouTube are being a bit nicer. I did start lawful proceedings against YouTube because they gave access to my YouTube channel to the police without a warrant. That they had no warrant. It had no they data breached me up the kazoo. I got data hacked by Cambridge Analytica, and then YouTube gave all my access to my everything to the Irish police without a warrant. So But I don't want. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I can't be bothered wasting my time fighting people. But anyway, so I'm a bit shocked about the pornography. Do you know who told me that the Hampstead case was connected to international porn distribution and snuff? Was Miles Johnston. He said to me, back off of the Hampstead case, Angie. It's a Russian mafia operation, and curiosity killed the cat. He said it's you know, the Russians were involved. Ella's Russian, and her dad, you know, whatever, and the Hatton Garden thing. But the biggest discovery was that it connected to Finchley Road money laundering, and that's why Special Branch went around threatening people like Gordon Bowden and saying if he didn't back off the Hampstead case, people could fall off of high buildings, and he backed off completely. And then another guy was met by Special Branch in the police in Highgate and told, if you know what's good for you, shut your mouth, you know. So
How old would Alyssa and Gabriel be now? They'd be
well, they
close to
were
the
eight,
age
they
of
were 8
consent,
and
wouldn't
9. In 2014, they were 8 and 9. So this is like 8 years later. So 16 and 17. Wow.
they? Nearly the age they're the age of consent. I spoke to Ella not just before Christmas.
Okay.
I spoke to Ella just before Christmas, and yeah, she told me that she still has hope that she'd get them back.
You see, the thing about this woman that's trolling me, who I'm going to give you information on when we finish recording, when the children are in a cult, sometimes they never come back because they get brainwashed and traumatized and compromised.
That's one of the things that I said to Ella. I said to her, do you think that now they're back with their father, that they'd be in a frame of mind that they'd be complicit, they'd still be complicit within the cult? And she goes, no, she didn't believe so, because she believes that she raised them in a way that
the Bible says,
they know
the
what
Bible
good
says,
is.
the Bible says, raise your children up in the way that they should go, and they won't depart from it. Like, they'll come back. But somebody sent me Elisa's, I don't know if it was Instagram or Pinterest or different social media, and it was very, very cult. It was very sad. It broke my heart, to be honest. I don't know about Gabriel, and I do believe people can be healed, because, you know, I'm a walking testament. You can be healed. And Ricky Dearman puts out threats saying, I can't wait till my children are 18. They're going to sue your ass, Angie Power Disney. My kids are going to take your house off you, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not convinced that he has full-time custody. I believe they're still in social services care, but he has unlimited access. I think he has.
You know they're back in the UK.
Yeah, no, they were only in America visiting. That whole thing about being in America and the Super Bowl ad, that was a red herring. I know their address. I can't put it out or I'd be arrested, right? I know where they are, but I don't. Well, I know where Ricky Dearman is. I know 2 addresses for him, but I can't put them out or I would literally be arrested instantly, you know.
He will be.
But people send me screenshots from his Facebook page, and he's saying that he's going to take action against social services for what they've done to him. And what I believe is, because of all the noise we made and all the exposure we did, he never got full custody back, or he didn't want it. I think they just go to him weekends and holidays. I might be wrong, but that's my understanding, because he's angry with social services. Why? If he's got full custody back, you know, why is he angry with social services? No, I think the noise we made kept the children in foster care, but he still has unlimited access, you know, weekends, holidays, whatever. That's my opinion. Anyway, look, we're on dangerous ground, but my copyright strike expires tomorrow, so I'll take a chance. And I can't believe it, 8 and 8, 16 and 17. I think Gabriel was always more soft-hearted, and I'm always haunted when they published the supposed police retractions. I'm always haunted that Gabriel couldn't fully retract when he was like 8.
No, he didn't retract. He said,
Let me finish.
remember when DC Martin was asked?
Yeah, Steve Martin says So you didn't eat babies, did you? You didn't kill
And he goes,
babies.
no, only sometimes. And
Only
he goes, yes.
sometimes. He just, little 8-year-old darling, he just couldn't fully retract, you know. So look, we pray for.
I can't even believe that was considered a retraction anyway. How
Yeah,
could it?
unbelievable. And Steve Martin, the complaint that Ella made to the IPCC, as it was at the time, it was upheld that he coached them, he led them. You know, why is he still a detective? He got promoted. He started off. He got promoted from a detective sergeant to a detective constable, and he got promoted in his Freemason lodge to almoner. God knows what position. And every court case against Sabine, against Rupert, against Jake, against every court case Steve Martin's ever made witness. He should be behind bars for coaching children to make false retraction statements. You know, or he should never, ever, ever be allowed to work with children again. But look,
the whole Hampstead case, Angie, the whole Hampstead case, you can fly 747s through it. There's holes that big in it. You can fly 747s through it.
Why would Special Branch go to Gordon Bowden and say, we don't mind you whistleblowing about money laundering, but if you link it to the Hampstead case, people fall off high buildings? And why would they go to the documentary maker in Highgate who filmed the passageway between the school and the church getting blocked up with no planning permission? He filmed it. He did a couple of interviews with me. They got him in a pub and said, if you don't stop, you're dead. You know, and the woman that exposed Karen Irving to me is dead. She was trolled to suicide. So, like, if it was nothing and it was a hoax, why is Special Branch, you know, and the authorities, why the cover up if it was nothing? If it was nothing, they could just say, never mind Angie, never mind Artie, never mind these crazy people, ignore them. No, they went to huge lengths to cover this up. And there's a new case that I've been reporting on. It was a sting, in my opinion, that John Wedger and Wilfred Wong and Jane Going Hill and another couple of people, they, in my opinion, tricked a mother. A mother approached them and said, can you help me rescue my child? He disclosed abuse with a lot of evidence, and they've given him back to they're going to give him back to the father. And John Wedger and Wilfred Wong and others set up a supposed rescue, but it was a complete ambush. And the mother is serving 15 years in jail.
Well,
15 years, Artie.
15 years.
For trying to rescue her child. But you put a pedo policeman up for category A production of child rape, and he gets
3 years on the top.
Oh, it's just
he gets 15 months on the bottom.
Yeah. But anyway, look, so I
was going to ask you about Wilfred Wong. What happened to him? He got. Didn't he get 20 years or something?
Yeah, maybe 18, 17. It breaks my heart to say, but I think he was an insider. He got a character reference from a member of Parliament who is on the Reigns list as an alleged paedophile. Sir Edward Lee gave him a reference. And Wilfred Wong, with whom I shared a platform, I did a conference, 3-day conference, Christian conference about SRA, satanic ritual abuse. He was day 2, I was day 3. And I really believed in him. Like he spun a good story like John Wedger does. But he didn't tell anybody that he had an office in the House of Commons in Parliament for 16 years. And he got a reference from a member of Parliament who is a strongly alleged paedophile. And like he's raised multiple millions for charities, you know, and he's been director of multiple companies. Thank God for good researchers. The internet has helped expose this stuff. So I'm sorry to say, I think Wilfred Wong I think him and John Wedger were that was an organised sting, in my opinion, from my research. And the mother is now serving 15 years. And the little boy, who was 8, like Gabriel, is possibly going to be given back to the father, you know. So anyway, look.
It's similar to the case that we got here in Australia, in Queensland, the water. Have you heard about the water twins?
No.
Well, their mother, the father was brutally raping the children. There was medical evidence of abuse, and the mother tried abducted the children, put it in her care with a good friend of mine, Patty OD, and she's now going through a lengthy court case. It's been going for about 3 years.
Yeah, they punished the mothers.
The same thing with the water children.
Did we ever hear from that? What was your friend? Was her name Kerry Hawkins? Did she just?
Kerry,
do you remember
Kerry Hawkins, I made contact with the other day. But you know who else we need to trying to find? Leanne McDonald. Remember Leanne McDonald?
That's who I meant, Leanne McDonald. That's who I
meant. Leanne McDonald.
Yeah, shout out.
Leanne McDonald hasn't been seen since heard from since 2017. I think she's been hushed up. She's been told that she wants to enjoy her freedom. She has to be quiet.
All right, look at Artie. Is there anything else you want? I'm shocked. I'm shocked in a way, but I was told. Do you know who told me that the Hampstead case was connected to really dark porn? Was Max Spears, and he's dead. You know. So look, I keep freezing. I think we better end this. We better end it while we're ahead, and we'll connect again. Is there anything else you want to say before we go? Stay safe, Artie, because I get blamed. If anybody gets sectioned or whatever, I get the blame. Stay safe. Oh, and I'm gonna stop recording, but stay on the line, okay? Because I'm gonna show you who this person is that's trolling me. Oh, we're frozen. Isn't that amazing thing? We always manage to do it. All right, I'll end this. AngelusCashes.org. Artie was one of the oh, he's still there. Can you hear me, Artie?
Yeah, I can hear Angie.
Okay.
Cut out for a bit there.
Yeah, we keep freezing, which I don't know why. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording because it involves my extended family, and I don't want to put, there's no reason for them to be trolled. I'm going to stop recording, but I'm going to stay on the line, and I'm going to show you who.
Can I just have a closing statement, please?
Yeah, and say goodbye to Charmaine if you want to as well.
Yeah, I will. I just want to let everybody know that I haven't left the scene. I've left it in the hands of other people like Gabby Chung. Have you heard of Gabby Chung?
No.
She's an Australian woman who's doing a lot of work. She's doing a lot of work with Fiona Barnett. She's promoting her story. And as I said, I've got my fingers in a lot of pies. I do a lot of charity work in the third world, and I've been focusing most of my energy on that.
Yeah, you always
do. I still haven't gone anywhere. I'm still here. I'm still fighting. Yeah. And I'm always here for the children whenever there's...
I know. Your heart for children is amazing. And
any sort of oppression,
yeah,
any sort of human rights violation, I'm there.
Yeah, I know. You're mighty. And I've joined an Australian church. They're in Sydney and New York.
Yeah, you told me about this. And I think he's a Maronite Catholic.
He was.
Was he a Maronite Catholic?
He was. And he's come out of that. But he's from a lovely Lebanese family, and Lebanese food is still my favourite in the whole world.
Yeah, beautiful.
I love the Lebanese people. I had 2 Lebanese boyfriends in my 20s. And the food.
Sammy, you had a boyfriend called Sammy, didn't you?
Sammy Asram, yeah, he died.
Sammy Asram.
And then Kamal, anyway, look, that's a long time ago, but I've always had a heart for Lebanon, and yeah, he was a Catholic. He was a Lebanese Catholic.
Lebanon's filed for bankruptcy. The country's in a shambles.
Wow. Well, the whole world is in a shambles, let's be honest. There was something else I wanted to... Look, we'll have to do this again. Was there any other updates from Ella? Because my research took me down some rabbit holes, and so I don't communicate. I just keep digging.
I haven't spoken to Ella since Christmas.
Okay.
But she's still going through her court case.
Yeah, for the bus off Gibraltar. That was so sneaky because Gibraltar is still a British colony. I lived there for 3 years. So they didn't grab her in Spain because Spain Spain.
No, they grabbed it in England. She was in Saudi.
Cannabis is legal in Spain. You know, cannabis is legal, and Spain is not great on extraditing people to the UK over cannabis, but Gibraltar is because it's a British colony. That was a setup, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. All right, well, look, it's lovely to reconnect. Charmaine, do you want to say anything to say goodbye? She's got headphones on. Do you want to say goodbye?
Oh, goodbye to you, brother. God bless you.
See you later, Charmaine. Love you, sweetheart.
All right, now,
Nice being in contact with you again.
I don't know whether I'm just going to go stop recording and then I'm going to show you who this troll is. Is that all right, Artie? You got a minute? Right. Stop recording.